So one of the things about this piece is it's supposed to be kind of fun, very fun. And you can see, like, I took that hand out, so it doesn't look like there's a hand growing out of her breast. And I made some other changes. You can see where the earrings are. Because in your photo, oh dear, someone hand me a photo. I don't have a photo. Here. In the photo, she's got a bow, a white bow in the back. But it just sort of, but they can't, that and the earrings kind of cancel each other out. So I took the bow out, even though I liked it. I thought that this little piece, this little polka dot insert down here in the front of her dress could be white instead of black, and then we could put black polka dots in it because it'll be easier, and it'll also give us a nice little white pop there. I took the table out. I redrew the spaghetti. We may have to find some places on the lips. But here's the other thing that I like doing, and I would suggest a lot of the time, like if you're doing little sketches or you do a little painting, one thing that will change it, that will make it, maybe you're not totally happy with it, one thing that'll make it better is if you put a border in there. And the border doesn't have to be particularly straight or accurate. It just depends on what you want to have happen. But maybe, it could be a little crooked or off. I like curved corners, but that's just what I like. Oh, look, see, mine's all blobby funny. Actually, I kind of like to make them a little bit. Oh, it came down there to the elbow. Maybe I'll stop it at the elbow. And maybe I'll make it come out down here. And let's not have it go behind everything. Let's just have it come across here. And then I might even erase that down there. See, like so. I don't have to have the border continue everywhere. It can just stop. You don't have to have it everywhere. You could put pattern in there, or you could put pattern out here, so on and so forth. Another thing that works is having polka dots or some pattern that's playful in your piece. Shirley Trevina always has some polka dots somewhere, So we've got them here in this dress. And then we've got a repeat pattern in these earrings, circles. And then we've got these crazy white sunglasses, a lot of camera distortion, tremendous camera distortion. So I think I forgot this line here. Her shoulder's got to be somewhere there. Okay. So
Where was that? I'm sorry.
Oh, I think it's in the tracing. I just left a line off. So what we're going to do first is we're going to put some skin tones in. And when we're doing it, we're going to be finding these negative spaces between the bits of spaghetti. And that's going to help you get your bearings with it, because right now when you look at it, you kind of want to pull your hair out. I heard some of you talking. Okay. So we're just going to use a thin glaze, and we're going to use quinacridone coral. And I'm going to use a little bit of New Gamboge. And as sometimes if I'm doing a portrait, I'll layer those things. But this time I'm just going to mix them because I'm making quick work of this. So what I'm trying to do is make kind of a soft orange. And what that's going to do when it's thin is just nice peachy skin color. Okay? So let's work with, I'm using a little round brush, and it's very, very wet. I want to be careful that I don't go too dark. I would rather it was too light than too dark. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out finding the spaces between the spaghetti. And this may take a while because, quite frankly, you don't have a picture that shows you what this spaghetti looks like. You only have this drawing. So it could get a little confusing. The other thing is we are painting over the lips with the skin color. We'll redefine the lips later. So let's just put in there's one. And if anyone wants to take a photo of this when they go back, it might, it looks easy to me because I drew it.
Right.
So that's kind of on the dark side. I might not even want the rest of her skin that dark, but this part would be in shadow some, and we're going to put more than one layer on her face, but maybe we don't have to layer as much here. So here's the fork going into her mouth right there.
Yeah.
So under that is going to be skin. Okay, here. I believe this could be black right there. That could be black right here. I mean, or whatever color you want to make her outfit. I'm not telling you what color it has to be. I even thought about us putting a hat on her, and I decided, no, that was getting a little painful.
You had a paper doll there, didn't you, playing?
Yeah, I did. So there's, I think, the negative skin space at least. You know, this could be either one. You could make this skin. I'm not going to divide it up between that tiny spot between being a dress and your skin. So all right. So then let's get a little bigger. You might even want to use a bigger brush. That'll be fine. I'll tell you what. Let's start here. We can be dark in here. This area is going to have skin color in here. Even though these are sunglasses, just a straight dark there would be, well, I like some undercolor in my blacks, although I'm not so sure that we're actually going to make this black. We're going to decide later. So, same thing. I've got really juicy paint floating off the end of the brush. Really important here, you do not want to have to make a lot of strokes. Think of this, you're looking for economy of strokes. And the strokes should be very gentle. So I'm using this brush. This is a really soft brush. All
Still
right.
your zero.
Still my zero. I could go to larger. I think I will not fish around for a larger, but I'm putting in a little more paint because I decided maybe I don't have quite enough. And I would rather have too much than not enough because I don't want to run out halfway, and make a place in it. So the other thing is we don't want to make this jawline important right now.
Okay.
Okay, so I tell you what, let's just get a little practice here on the forehead. Oh, should I get lighter than that? Yeah, let's add I'm going to add a little more water to my mix here so that doing something a little bit lighter. I'm not going to stop at the hairline either. I'm going to run this back into the hair. I'm not going to be terribly picky about making it perfect back there, but I'm going to run it back into the hair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think I'll add more water. So same thing here. Well, I got enough water in it finally. There. Yeah, and every time you do something with watercolor, you may not have the exact thing you need it to be when you start out. You can test on a scrap. That's always a good thing. But the other thing, remember this shape right here is not spaghetti, it's her mouth. It's hard to tell. Forgotten what I was going to say. Oh, that you have to, you can test or you can adjust on the painting as you're working. The more experience you have, the easier that'll be for you. And if you've got a good quality paper with enough sizing on it, that works real well just to even mix color right on the painting. Oh, paint around the earrings. I think I made hair back there. So again, I'm keeping the leading edge there wet. The other thing that you could do if you wanted, you could have added a little water onto the face before you started painting, and you might prefer to do it that way. I'm sorry that I should have done it like that. That would be a lot more serviceable. Try to paint around your whites, but you can always come back with some white ink if you miss.
And the highlight on the nose, is that something that you will come back to, or?
Yeah, I'm thinking that this is gonna dry light enough that I may not have to, but that doesn't look like I got it light enough, so yeah. The main thing I want is just sort of a nice flat area. Oops, and I should not have come back and touched that up. If you get darker in here and darker in these areas though, it's not gonna hurt, it may even be to your advantage. Okay, so, oh, and then you've got to paint the whole hand, arm, okay. I drew this a little bit of arm in, you're welcome to do that. Again, if you want to look at mine, or, you know, you can pretty much tell what goes on there. You know, you could put a little more arm in there. If you've got the wider sheet and you want to do this thing with the border, you could do that. So you could turn it off. So here we have one that got a little off the rails. Okay, so let's try the magic sponge. I don't know quite what it's going to do, but so like I said, new gamboge tends to be more staining, and so you've got quite a bit of new gamboge in here. So let's just see.
See?
It's being pretty stubborn here. Pretty stubborn. We got a little coming up. The arm, see. Okay, next time we do something like this, remind me that I want you to start out with the arm instead of face. Okay, this we're gonna leave alone.
Okay.
And we're trying to keep the same glasses white, so.
Hers will probably come out like a masterpiece.
It's smoothing out a little
it
bit.
is.
It's smoothing out a little bit. Now, here's the problem. When you're doing something like that, you're also pulling up some sizing. I'm gonna leave this in here the way it is, because that area is gonna be more shadowed anyway. I think the real problem is right down in here. And I don't know if that's gonna be that big of a problem. You know what? I think I think it's gonna be okay. I think you can work with it. Again,
Could be just a more Mediterranean girl.
Yeah.
very, very
Mediterranean.
something, yeah.
Lots of lakes where we use that spray tan out of the Spray can. tan.
Okay. So what I thought we'd do next, okay, is we're backing off from the skin a little bit. And let's go and let's get some of these dark areas started. And what I want to do is I want to have an underpainting under the black. We're going to call it black. We may, and you might have some other color choices, but we're going to start out with some other color under there. I'm making this plate something else. It can have a color, it can be white or whatever, but it's not going to be see-through plate. Okay. Like in the picture. So I'm using the indigo. And again, I want this to be soupy. This color does not have to be super black. You don't want it to be thick. You want it to set into the paper. So you don't want it to be like you're putting a black coat of paint on and you're trying to cover. You're not doing that. Okay. So I'm gonna also get the Twin Burnt Scarlet out here. Oh, I may not have enough. So I want this to be close to creamy.
What other color did you use with it? Black?
Indigo.
Indigo.
This is also a favorite combination of mine for darks.
Just those two, or would
Just,
you?
just those two for now, yeah. And we're gonna see what happens, you know, as usual. So basically, we're doing the same thing. We're painting in with a wet brush round probably, and I kind of mixed some of the blue into the red and made a color. Oh, let's see, what is this color? Oh, it's that. Well, it's not all that pretty. Okay, so what I'm looking to do is to get a dark, and I need some pretty neat edges here. So you want to take your time. And the thing is that I might want some of this to vary a little bit.
Oh, that's a beautiful rich
You're
color.
painting her shirt, is that right?
I think it's
Yeah.
pretty.
So, well, it will be as soon as we drop in a little bit more of a blue tone and next to it. Well, that wasn't very blue. Okay, here. And we began to get some variety.
Just on dry paper.
Yeah, I'm on dry paper. So now we've got kind of a blue-gray down here. We went from a warm to a blue-gray. But it's all about the same value. Not that even that's going to be that important because this is an underpainting.
Good reason.
Whoops, I just stuck color into my spaghetti.
Oh, boy.
I'm
Okay.
sure I'll do that, the sauce.
And the
Yeah, the
sauce.
sauce.
Burnt sauce.
It
seems
seems so dark for an underpainting.
You could use, yeah, but we're going on top of it with a really strong dark. So you could also switch off to a smaller brush when you get in some of these places. In fact, I really recommend switching to a smaller brush in these places. Let's see. So see, this should be still thin enough that it's soupy and flows off the brush. Just don't mess up the spaghetti. It's all gonna be fine. Remember, this is meant to be a playful piece. And I can tell you, Charlotte, that Shirley Trevina has painted some people that look the color of yours.
Oh, good.
Of course, I hated them, but
Well, she won't come see you then.
she probably won't. Yeah. So, I'm just working here till I reach a stopping point. But even if your stopping points show, it'll be all right because you're going to add more on top. We might even use this color instead of a black. Who knows?
Your Quinn Burnt Scarlet has the indigo mixed in.
Right.
But
right.
you have areas of the indigo by itself.
No.
No.
It has the little Quinn Burnt Scarlet in it too. Oh, I've done a terrible job
Down in
around
here.
this bead. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I'll just fade this out and stop.
Freshwater pearls.
Yeah. Okay. So you're filling in her dress. I'm leaving that little inset white, except, oh, let's just go ahead and do this because this always makes me feel better. And I like to feel better when I'm painting. Some of you may have actually traced these dots. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh,
I think she needs hair.
Well,
Well, that's coming.
no, but
Been talking about making you feel better. Hair would
Yeah,
help.
hair would help.
You know, you got a point there. Yeah, you do. I'm going to ignore you, but you got a point.
Oh, she looks like she has a scarf on her head.
You know, I thought at first she did. I've decided that's really something in the background I'm seeing. And at one time I thought it was a stupid hat, but I couldn't figure out why she would wear that hat with that bow. So, okay, this is not very accurate. But as soon as you get some polka dots in there, it becomes a little more lighthearted. It just does it, right? So you're going to fill in the dress. And then, oh gee, what else? Oh, the sunglasses.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start on the sunglasses.
Aren't they gonna be white?
Huh?
Aren't they gonna be
frames
white?
Yeah, but the sunny part isn't
The
going to
glass
be.
one.
The inside? or
Yeah,
out
the
there?
insides. So let's start out with this rich color instead of black, and then we'll decide. Oh, this gets difficult. Now you've got two choices. You can ignore that, but you
The
could also
cheekbone?
do it. Yes.
Could be fun.
So
gonna put
let's
her
see
eye-
what this will
eye
do. You could
So,
put
Are you
reflections.
gonna put her eye in? Oh, I don't know.
I can just barely find her eyes, and I decided it wasn't worth the effort.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
especially
You can
with
put some little
sunglasses.
hints of some,
Yeah,
some
of
little
some
deep
bit of
color,
dark.
but nothing to, I wouldn't make them really,
An eye.
yeah.
No,
So
not with that dark of a lens.
I'm probably going to use a separate coat on this. So be careful about your edges. Don't do what I did to my edges. But if you shake, you know, you shake.
And you're using the same mixture
Yeah,
of
I'm using the
indigo
same
and burnt
mixture,
scarlet.
right? Kind of like maybe a little more of the scarlet in this. Here I'm adding more color in, which I probably shouldn't have done. I could get a background or something there. So, okay, let's look at this cheek area. What on earth are we going to do here? Oh, if you want to keep the cheek. Let me
We're a
think.
pretty cheeky group. I don't think so.
You could add water here.
That's gonna be sort of interesting, because the other side doesn't have all that buildup, and yet it's as dark as the other one.
So, I'm going to start out here like this. And what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to finish this side out here yet. I'm just going to fade it out until it's dry later,
Oh, wait.
okay? And then I'm going to come back and paint that in solid. So let's take the warm color. And let's be cautious. Remember, the thicker the color is, the less it's going to spread. And I've got a fairly thin mixture here. If I was smart, you might want to be smarter than me. You could do a thicker mixture that won't spread as much. That would be so I'm painting, see, I'm painting right up to where I put the water in, and then I'm holding my breath. Okay, let's take some of the paint out, and let's just sneak up on it. Oh, look, it's not even moving. Oh, well, let's get a little more color then. Whoa, 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 there it goes.
Now it's moving.
Now it's moving, okay. Ah, you know why? Because I had too much water in here. Now, we don't want it to be fully white. If you do this and it goes, you know, bad on you, then all you gotta do is paint the thing in solid. Okay, so, boy, I've got an edge there.
Avoid
So
the
maybe I've got something like that. I would like some blue in there too, but I'm not going to add it right now because I don't want any more moisture. I might even turn my paper this way for a little while. And then when this is dry, I'll come back and I'll fill that other outside area in, and maybe I'll add some blues.
looks like the light's shining on that side of the glasses. You know, like sunlight shining.
Yeah,
Like a
yeah.
reflection.
Well, you could do that too, I guess.
It's
So,
almost seven.
so something like that. And you're gonna fill in over here. Hair.
Oh.
Hair. What do we want to do about hair? Well, I think that we don't want to use the same mixture for the hair just because it's just a little too much the same stuff everywhere.
Hmm.
So,
It doesn't
I
look
tell you
good.
what I want to do. No, I've changed my mind. We're not doing the hair yet because we're going to do some shading on the face that runs into the hair area. Because if you just put hair there, you know, that dark color, it will look totally artificial. You need them to kind of work in together. And I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with that with us. So we're going to approach it the safe way. Okay. So go do this much. You know, I mean, do the whole dark area. You just you don't have to watch me. Turn it off.